is all this we don't talk about Bruno stuff about, really? What's going on here?
We're getting ready. We made the pop.
So, Poppy, would you say if somebody was going to paint an Akedo like somebody from Encanto, who should they paint them like?
Bruno.
What, Griff?
Bruno.
Bruno. Let's do this.
Our wedding.
It was our wedding day.
There wasn't a cloud in the sky.
Wasn't a cloud in the sky.
Popcorn.
All right, guys, you know we don't talk about Bruno, but today we're not just going to talk about him. We're going to also paint him. But I need to actually go back in time, show you what I've done so far. So let's rewind, take it back, show you what I've done, and then we'll start with some painting. All right, guys, we are going to be turning Hiash into, well, it's kind of a surprise, but I guess since you're watching the video, I'll let the cat out of the bag. We don't talk about Bruno. That's right, we're turning him into Bruno. But before we do, we got to work on that hair. I'm going to be using this polymer clay, which I got very reasonably on Amazon, to make a hair piece and cook it before we actually do the conversion. Let's check it out. All right, as you all can see, I'm just shaping the polymer clay to his head a little bit, and then I'm going to take it off and cook it. Let's check it out here in just a second. All right, Bruno's beautiful mop of black hair is very important. We're getting it now. I'm almost to where I'm gonna cook it. Hopefully I can slip it right off and then slip it right back on when he's all done. And then we're gonna blend his real hair in with it, do some fun highlighting and stuff. But Poppy just brought up a good point, and that is that if we look at our picture of Bruno, he's pretty well endowed in the area of his nose. So we're also going to make him a prosthetic nose that we can glue on real quick as well. Hey, folks, and there you have it. Simple as pie, a little bit of sculpted clay for the hair and nose. Let's bake this, and now we can start painting. Okay, guys, so I really want to start with kind of a basic, is this going to work question? Because I can't lie to you, I don't know if it is or not. So what I'm going to do is paint the hair and the face, because that's going to tell me if this is a fool's errand or if maybe we're onto something. By the way, if this is a flop, you'll probably never see this video. All right, folks, so we've got the first coat of black on the hair, and I'm already feeling a little bit more confident this is gonna turn into Bruno. And next I'm coming in with a Canadian flesh tone, which is kind of a tan skin color. I will probably go in and use some other products to make this exactly what I want, but we'll give this a try at the start. Okay, you guys see that I made a little mistake there. Got a little bit of my tan on the hair. You're gonna hear me say this a million times, but there are no mistakes in painting. Don't sweat it. We'll go in and fill that in later. And really, this is what doing your base coats is all about. All right, and that is as far as I wanted to get for this moment. We are gonna fill in some more in just a second, but first, let's look at some pictures of Bruno so we can kind of conceive what we want his fighting costume to look like.
Okay, somebody edited this picture to make it look really hot, but I love how it looks. But I also want to make sure we capture this sweeter Bruno.
All right, and you know I'm always an advocate of taking a moment and doing a quick mock through of what you want to do, what you'd like to achieve. And so let's try to do that real quick with Bruno after those pictures we just saw. For the record, I use colored pencils usually when I do some designing, but you can use whatever you like. Paint, watercolor, pastels. I just like colored pencils. All right, and there he is with a first coat of flesh tone. Looking pretty cool. We're gonna go with Screamer Pink for these pants. Let's go. All right, and for this base level of green, which really you are not gonna see much of at all, this is just kind of for his smock. I'm gonna use this lovely color. It's a super light green. It's called Plague Bearer Flesh, but don't let that put you off. It's a nice color of green. All right, folks, he's based. So now we're gonna let this dry for a little bit and then come in and pick out some details. All right, and I'm gonna start with what I think will kind of be easiest, which is this green. It's certainly what I have the most of. So I'm gonna start putting my neon green in. Also, I really like neon green, you guys. I like anything neon. So of course I'm gonna go for the hotter colors. All right, let's get our flame on. This is cool. I really love. It's like Bruno's, you know, his psychic powers. He's found a way through the magic of Akedo to just channel them into this ninja foot, right? I don't know why, but I just had to make Bruno a kicker. It just felt right that he would be a kicking Akedo. Also, I have like 13 Hiashes. You know. All right, we are starting to spruce this guy up. Now, I also want to do the base in this green, but I'm going to wait till I'm completely done. That was Citadel Moot Green, by the way. Moot Green, which I love. And now I'm going to put on a little contrast warp lightning. Not because contrast is really appropriate on this piece, but just because I really like contrast warp lightning. Alright, I promise some gold retributor armor. Let's do it.
Pro tip, a lot of YouTubers totally fake these close-ups on the eyes because it's really hard for our cameras to capture this if there's only one of us. I'm faking it now.
And our last big step here is I'm gonna put a little bit of this stuff. It's supposed to just kind of make certain parts pop and glow. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on his kicking foot and his necklace. It's called a technical paint. So it's a paint that is supposed to achieve like a different effect, and this one is just supposed to make it look a little magical, and so I certainly thought that was appropriate for Bruno. All right, folks, here is your extreme close-up. Still have a little bit of touch-up to do, but I'm starting to be really happy with where this figure is. We back up a little bit because nothing looks good under that extreme close-up. So you'll see Under this magnification, I'll even get a little bit closer. Here we go. I think he's starting to look really, really nice. All right, the last thing I am going to do here is just put on a little wash. A wash is gonna give this an overall, see how that sinks into there. When it dries, it's gonna give it a little bit more depth, and it's really gonna hug, especially on his flesh tones, into these shadows on his pants. And so we'll just get a little extra depth out of it, okay? And last but not least, especially if you're using toys, yourself a quick spray of Citadel or any other kind of varnish. This is called Munitorium model varnish. You can find some cheaper probably somewhere else, but get a good distance back and just spray a little bit of that on like you would your spray paint. It is going to get your model just finished and make it a little bit harder for that paint to chip. All right, folks, this one is done like dinner. First, let's take a look at my drawing, which actually I found out looks quite a bit like Lin-Manuel Miranda, who composed the music for We Don't Talk About Bruno. But here it is, folks. You can put them next to Pennywise for comparison. This is your exclusive Bruno from Encanto, Akedo. Talk about them all you want.